Deciding what to do with all your crystals and rubies, especially during sales, is probably one of the most, not confusing, but more complicated aspects of current Tanki, just because there's like so much you can actually level up. You have holes, turrets, protections, drones, grenades, supplies. Knowing what to spend all your crystals on can kind of be a little bit frustrating. So today I thought, instead of just telling you what you should upgrade on all your different accounts or just in general, I'm going to go through the different types of accounts and players in Tanki Online, because you have the maxed out player like me on this account. Whereas if I'm going to spend my crystals, at this point, I'm just going to max out everything I have. Maybe upgrade the SAR grenade, maybe upgrade... Oh wow, I have everything else maxed out. Okay, maybe I won't upgrade my SAR grenade just because I don't get many. What I usually do is in the end game, there's a lot of events in Tanki Online that you can actually buy currency for crystals. So I'm at the point where I usually just kind of save up, and then every once in a while Tanki will add a new turret or a new grenade that I might actually use, and then I'll rank it up then. But usually on a maxed out account, I just save my crystals because there's really no reason for me to spend my crystals apart from events that come out. Next, we're looking at the basically super high ranked player but doesn't have their account maxed out. You're probably about halfway towards maxing out your garage, but you just have a lot of stuff to upgrade. Obviously, if you're really low on supplies, I'd go ahead and buy some supplies first, because at the end of the day, if you're running low on supplies and constantly thinking about your supplies and the amount that you have, that's a lot less fun. Also for rubies, Tanki recently made it where every time you upgrade from MK5 to MK6, you have to spend like 5 to 6 rubies. So make sure you have a few hundred saved up just so that when a sale does come, you're not screwing yourself over because you don't have any rubies left over. The next thing on these accounts, especially if you're already legend, you're going to have to find a good augment that you enjoy, because if you don't have a really good augment, you're going to have to focus on Freeze, Firebird in my opinion. Even Tesla's pretty good, because Freeze and Firebird I'd say are probably the best turrets in the game that can do really well even if you don't have a good augment. I'd say the only big downside to these turrets is that if you get a big map, you're going to have to leave. So you'll end up leaving over half your games if you're only using Firebird or Freeze, because it's pretty torturous if you stay in long range maps with these turrets, especially in the legend ranks. Now, a lot of people ask me what protections they should rank up. This is just going to depend on which augments are good when you're leveling up or doing upgrades in Garage. Like currently right now, Hammer protection really needs to be upgraded. Freeze protection, every once in a while you'll go against a really good freeze player. Armadillo, now this protection is really good, but it's so expensive to the point you should really only upgrade it a few times per sale. Like there's about 3 or 4 50% sales every single year. Usually around every 3 to 4 months there'll be a new 50% sale. So I'd say go ahead and spend like 200 to 300,000 crystals on this protection per sale. Because in general, for 50% sales, it's like 1.5 million crystals just to max it out. So definitely don't focus too much time on an Armadillo, because it's not that necessary. And just look at your protections, see which ones you have leveled up, and figure out which good augments are taking over the meta. Like Striker's also very good, I'd go ahead and upgrade that. Railgun is always good to upgrade, Magnum always good to upgrade. Even Shaft with Stellarator, that's always good to upgrade as well. But the ones you really shouldn't focus on, I'd say personally, Scorpion I don't really see all that much. Ricochet I don't see all that much, Twins I don't see all that much, Tesla recently I barely see anymore, and then Aceta, not really that necessary to upgrade. But everything else, just go ahead and upgrade a little bit. You shouldn't max it out, especially before having a lot of turrets and holes maxed out. But I'd say get them to around halfway leveled up to maybe towards the end if you have the crystals. And then for turrets and holes, find a good augment that you have, especially for holes nowadays. If you have a good hole that has, say, Excelsior, I'd go ahead and upgrade that. Honestly, it's just good to have one medium hole, one light hole, and one heavy hole maxed out at the legend rank, just so you can switch between playstyles. And then Tanki every once in a while will have missions where you have to get kills with medium, light, and heavy holes. So having a maxed out of each one is really helpful when doing those missions. And then for turrets, same idea. I'd go ahead and get one of the either Firebird, Freezer, or Aceta turrets maxed out. Tesla as well, you can put in there. And then go ahead and max out one of your medium turrets as well. And then max out your long range turrets like Railgun, Gauss, Shaft. Because again, Tanki adds a lot of missions where you have to get kills with each different type of hole and turret, like short range, medium range, long range turrets. So having a maxed out turret for every single type of playstyle, such as long range and medium range, is always super helpful. Like me on this account, I have super solenoids, so when 50% sales come for Black Friday, I'm going to max out my Gauss turret. For Thunder, I have a decent amount of augments, adaptive reload, okay, not a decent amount, but I'll probably max out my Thunder as well. Freeze, I don't really have any good augments for, which kind of blows. I maxed this out before augments were really a big thing. Tesla, I don't really have any good augments for. It's kind of just going through and looking at your augments. Like Hammer, Blunderbuss isn't that great, so I don't really care enough to upgrade it. Smoky, I do have Excelsior, so I'll probably max out my Smoky turret in sales as well, even though it's only going to pay 1. That's like 50 rubies and probably about 1 million crystals worth of upgrading. Striker, don't really have anything good for, so don't care to upgrade that. It's just mainly looking at what you have in terms of augments and seeing what you want to use with those different augments. For drones, I would highly recommend, at least at the legend rank, getting your Defender and a Hyperion drone maxed out. Hyperion's just super helpful because it allows you to have your supplies at all times. In my opinion, it's just the most fun drone to use because you don't have to wait for that supply timer. Defender is just really good because the time to kill is so fast in current Tanki, you kind of need to have Defender a lot of the time. So I'll definitely be maxing out my Defender and Hyperion drone on sales as well. But yeah, that's kind of what I'd recommend for players who are close to getting maxed out. They're kind of far in the game and they're just trying to see what they want to upgrade. Let's go ahead and go to the next tier of account. All right, now we're on kind of the mid-ranged account. This was the first account I ever made. I have 750,000 crystals, 8,000 rubies, which is, holy cow, that's actually a lot. I forgot I won rubies on this account. I'll actually play on this account in the future because now that I have 2 legend accounts, it'd be nice to come to an account that isn't maxed out so I don't have to go against tryhards. Deciding what to level up on these medium to low range accounts is probably the hardest thing to do because at the end of the day, you're not really going to want to upgrade your grenades because it's just kind of useless unless you're legend. Turrets and holes are super important. Protections, I'd say, aren't that important at the mid range. Go ahead and get them to like 10 to 15 levels up because at the end of the day, it's still good having like 20% damage reduction no matter what. So same thing as my Republic account or your non-maxed out account. Go ahead and get the most essential protections around 20 levels. Like Armadillo, go ahead and get like 10 to 20 levels on 50% sales. Go ahead and upgrade your freeze protection, upgrade hammer protection, upgrade Magnum, Shaft, Gauss. The big protections, in my opinion, at this rank are against the turrets that can one-shot you. So like Railgun, Magnum, Gauss, and Shaft. Because getting one-shot at this rank, especially against players who are at the same level as you, it's just very, very frustrating. So honestly, I'd focus on the one-shot protections more so. And then Hammer, Striker, super annoying turrets to go against as well. So those are also really nice. And then at this rank, you're not going to have too many good augments. Mostly what you'll have are status effect augments because how containers work nowadays, you get status effect augments crap ton, but you don't really get good augments that often. And also again, at this rank, your augments aren't that necessary. Like it's very, very helpful for being top of the top every single game, but you're still able to perform in these ranks relatively well, even without the best augments. And again, going Firebird, Freeze, Aceta, always good go-to turrets when you don't have good augments, because they just are the most consistent without good augments in my opinion. Smoky's also very, very consistent without augments. And then the rest of the turrets, they're just kind of average without augments, especially like Thunder, Gauss, Ricochet, very, very average turrets without good augments on them. So at this rank, I would really focus on Freeze, Firebird. Aceta's just fun to use in my opinion. Tesla's still decent at this rank. Smoky's decent at this rank. Railgun's decent. Shaft is decent. And then again, it really just depends on what augments you have past that when deciding what you want to upgrade. In general, Paladin's a good hole to go to. Viking's a good hole. Hunter's a good hole. Light hole's probably not the best option at this rank without like Excelsior or something. So at this rank, I definitely focus on medium holes. Heavy holes aren't that much fun at this rank in my opinion because they're a lot slower because they're not that upgraded. Also, that's so funny. I have Ares, XTHD, MK1, but I'll probably upgrade maybe another medium hole. Maybe not just in general because I won't really use any other medium holes. Turrets are probably the most important just so you're not suffering a lot. Aceta. Wow, Aceta is also almost maxed out. Dude, how's my Aceta MK5? I must have bought a bundle or something back in the day. I don't even know. I'll probably upgrade my Smoky because Smoky's fun to use. I honestly don't have too much upgrading to do on this account unless I rank up more. I'll definitely upgrade my Smoky, maybe my Railgun a little bit, but won't be doing that much upgrading. Drones, I'm definitely going to get Hyperion maxed out. And the Defender I'll get maxed out because it's almost maxed out, which is surprising on this account. And the protections, I'm not going to upgrade too much. I might upgrade Armadillo a little bit, but Armadillo is not that necessary at this rank to be maxed out. And then I'm good on supplies, so I won't need to buy any supplies here. honestly, supplies are pretty easy to get, so I'd be surprised if people were low. And then when you're saving your rubies, I guess I can shout out what you guys should probably be spending your rubies on. Challenges pass is always nice, especially if there's a skin you like. I'd go ahead and wait unless there's a skin you like. If you have the rubies, it's definitely good because you can finish these passes very easily, and they give you a decent amount of containers. There's also events that come out with like a 700 ruby event pass sometimes, which are also super helpful to enter into. And then the Tanki Fund, which comes out twice a year. It's about 1,000 rubies to get into the Tanki Fund. That's always a good thing to get into because you have the chance to win 8,000 rubies like I did. And then you also get a really good bang for your buck. But yeah, I thought I would make this guide for, you know, the different tiers of players in Tanki Online, just because usually if I make a upgrade guide, it's just me telling you guys what to use. But hopefully in this case, with using 3 different tiers of accounts, I was able to give you guys some insights if you have an account similar to the one that I mentioned in here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Black Friday is coming up soon, so definitely save your crystals for then. Don't forget to use credit tag Taspens settings account. Use my credit tag there. Peace out, everybody.